Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we are talking about Pet Sounds by The Beach Boys. Now before we get into this, remember to like and subscribe and all the things that you do on a standard YouTube video. So yes, we are talking about the Pet Sounds by The Beach Boys. A lot of people regard this as an all-time classic, both musicians and people alike. But was it any good? We should get into it. Let's talk about it. But yes, before we get into it, let's talk about some of the history behind it. For those of you who don't know who the Beach Boys are, the Beach Boys are an American band. Look over here. I'll put a pop picture. An American rock band, rock and roll band from the 1960s. Very much in the sound of the Beatles and that kind of surfboard music from the early 1960s. Very much also with a touch of what's it called? With a touch of barbershop quartet. Sorry, I forgot the word then. Barbershop quartet. And obviously they were destined to become something bigger. And by their 11th studio album, they came out with the Pet Sounds. Now, the Pet Sounds was quite a big thing at the time. Massive. And it was very, very much a thing that kind of exploded in the sense of Brian Wilson's creativity. It was Brian Wilson's baby, so to speak. And Brian Wilson created very much a masterpiece. But does it still hold up today? Well, let's talk about it. It's very much a singles album. Now, what you may be wondering what I mean by that. So, a lot of the singles off this album, Wouldn't It Be Nice? Slop John B, and God Only Knows, and Carolina No, were all the singles off this album. If you look here, here is the picture of the UK version of the singles, the covers. And to me, they were the best things on. To me, they were the best things on the album. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that the rest of the album isn't beautifully crafted, because it is. Brian Wilson very much built something up here from the ground, from his head. And it is beautifully crafted, lyrically, musically, and instrumentally. So he did a lot with it. But to me, the standout songs from this album were the singles. Now, I'm going to individually talk about these singles for a second. Bear with me. Wouldn't It Be Nice? Now, Wouldn't It Be Nice was a beautifully crafted song by Brian Wilson, both in the sense of lyrical masterpiece and in the sense of musically. The lyrics, it's kind of a homage back to, it's got that kind of upbeat surfboardy thing. It's kind of skipping through the valley sort of thing in love, so to speak. And I think it's beautiful, and I think it's upbeat. And it's kind of almost like, I don't know how you explain it, like seeing something spiritual. It's kind of like an epiphany. You're waking up to something and you're kind of almost like head over heels for someone. And that kind of links to the second song I'm going to talk about now, God Only Knows. God Only Knows is very much in the same vein as Wouldn't It Be Nice, but it's a lot more in the feelings. It's in the thick of it. It's almost like somebody in love, and I think it's beautiful. A great track. And then you come to Slop John B. Took me 5 minutes to read that, but yeah, Slop John B. Is, as you may know yourself, was originally a traditional folk song, which was repurposed as a song for the Beach Boys. And I think it's a very good song. It's very much catchy to the ear, and very much one of these ones that gets stuck in your head. And the same with Carolina No. But the rest of them, to me, kind of just fall short of that. Not particularly awful, just not particularly something I would ever put on again. And I get that obviously maybe I'm looking at this from a perspective now 50 years on, and people have done it far better, a bit like Sgt. Pepper's. No insult to both either of these albums, but to Sgt. Pepper, where it was the first album to do what it did, and people have done it not so much better, but done what they did, and then you look back on it and go, oh, sort of thing. But yeah, to me it was just a singles album. Still beautifully crafted and still an album that everyone needs to hear. But is it something I would put back on a daily basis or a weekly basis? Probably not. Singles, yes, 100%. But a full album, not really, not to me. But that's just my thoughts. What do you think? Do you like the Beach Boys? What's your favourite Beach Boys album? Are the Beach Boys better than the Beatles? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you think of the album overall. I shall see you in the next one.